Hello everybody and welcome back to artofdino.com and saveearth.us, and I've got another one that I want to examine from my buddy at Tibet Travel, who I live vicarious through. I absolutely love this channel. It's so good. And this one was one of the ones that wasn't advertised. It usually shows up on my feed, but this one wasn't. Why is civilization gone overnight? Uncover the secrets of a lost Guge kingdom. And this is the video here. Definitely check it out. This guy discovers things that are amazing, and talks about things that we in this that we're looking for over here in these kind of channels, and he does it in the best possible way because no one else can explore like this guy with drone and on the feet, like on the ground. This guy just crushes it. He knows so much. He's so cool. One day I hope to take a tour and live in Tibet for a while. But this is the view from Google Earth of this whole area. And I love looking at this because to me it looks like something crazy happened. You know, either some giants took some amazing technology and groomed this place, like a groomer on a ski place, or a bomb went off where that lake was, that sand and everything, or they're just dumped sand there, they covered it up. There's so many natural, unnatural catastrophe destruction methods that seem to be at play here. Like these look like electricity, the plasma theory, the floods, explosions, melting. You know, they all seem to kind of be possibilities in this when you look at this stuff, because from that main image that I'm going to show you again, this is a clear description and clear visual evidence that this place and all these hills in the background, in the foreground, everything was once a building. And this looks like the only part that was able to be excavated since the cataclysm. You look at all the other parts and you can see the sand stuff. It looks like these parts, they took the sand down. They took those kind of valleys of slanted sand down, they excavated them, and they found this stuff. If they were to do this to every single thing around it, I think they'd discover even more of the same things. And look at how big that is. And imagine what kind of a city this is, where everything was created like this. And these could have been metals that have gone down. They're just different combinations of earthly things and stones or whatnot. Who knows? But there's so many different things that he talks about and shows in this video. And just look at it. Everything looks, you know, he refers to it all as natural. I don't see it that way. I see it as something ridiculous that just has been, again, transformed into something else, but was once could have very well been a just massive city, the likes of which we have never even come close to fathoming, because it looks like all those different patterns. It looks like all these different things. It looks even like a giant groomer or some kind of machine was driven over it and like cut out certain things as well in some spots. Other places like this just look like a bunch of cooked towers and tons of different things, obelisks, stupas of so many different heights and variations, you know, because so they could be metal, they could be stone, that just all kind of fused into, etc., fused into what you see now. But either way, I'm willing to believe if you were to tap into all those things, you'd find so much. This, and this is, I think, the big give, is that I think these civilizations that are still like this, intact, what this one once looked like, are beyond our realm. And they don't exist in this realm because they would give up the gig. They're allowed to have little tiny pockets of things survive, but this place was groomed and prepared for a people that cannot understand what these massive metropolises and cities look like. Because if we were to fathom it, we'd look all over the world and say, what the heck happened? Instead of being like, oh, that's a geology. Oh, that's what happens when this rock's 10 million years old, or blah, blah, blah. All that crap that we get. But look at the holes in there, everything. And he goes on to say in one spot of this video, he says it, he mentions it for like a sentence, as if it's kind of really not too important, although it is pretty amazing. He says that in 1985, and he just found this out during this video when he went to this place, he said that one of the people told him in 1985 that archaeologists discovered a tunnel from this town all the way to Mount Meru, or Mount Kailash, sorry, and which is the other sacred mountain that has a lot of mystery behind it. So a tunnel from here to Mount Kailash. Imagine what that's like, miles, a bunch of miles, like tens or possibly 100 miles, and I think it's about 40 or something, but I'm not positive. But either way, many miles under all this stuff, a tunnel. Like, could there be tunnels all over that lead to Mount Kailash? Could, all of this. And if this were an ancient civilization carved out, an ancient city, an ancient massive metropolis, the likes of which we've never even seen in any movies, I think then that is what you know, that's what you get. And they refer to it, he talks about in this video, how this is a place that just vanished overnight. So like all of a sudden there was a huge thriving civilization here, and then like 1,000 years ago or something, in the 9th, 10th century, it all vanished. Everyone vanished, and there's no signs of escape, no signs of trouble, no signs of flee, not really any signs of battle. So again, the cataclysm that we're all looking for appears to have happened here in a big, big way. And some of it is, you know, preserved. And look at that. I could see that being just like a strip, like Las Vegas or something, New York City, like you've never seen before. Massive things that could go up into all different shapes, people existing everywhere, probably flying or floating, vimanas flopping all over the place, towers, people, culture, sculptures, magic, stupas, golden things, ethereal energy. So much could have all been here. And again, this looks like Bryce Canyon. This looks like stuff in Utah. This looks like stuff in the Grand Canyon. And they show that when you go into certain caves, there's a lot of soot on the ceiling. Like people were living there at some point. Different nomadic people that after this disaster, the cataclysm, were still around. But these things are everywhere. On the tops of all these mountains, you see these different stupas. You see just different places that have been preserved. I'm sure if you were to explore this on foot, if you were able to, you would just find tons of different things that may have never been discovered before, because this is just a vast wilderness where, you know, I'm sure people haven't tracked it. But look at that. Nothing about this looks natural at all. It all looks like just stuff that was once human-made or giant-made or superior human-made, and now we are looking at the scraps, the rubble, the leftover nonsense. And again, if you were to take out all that stuff, excavate all of that, get rid of all the unnecessary things, how many more doors, entries, caves, everything, treasures, murals, artifacts, technologies would you be able to find? That is one tiny piece of a mountain range where it all looks exactly like that. There's nothing that separates this part right there from any of the background stuff except the fact that it looks like it's been excavated. That's it. And these people are very kind of slow-moving people. You know, they're not using tons of technology to excavate this. This was probably all done by hand by these local people over generations and generations. And you know, if we were to be able to take machines and shed and water blast, sand blast a lot of this stuff away, you could do some rapid fire archaeology and make some serious discoveries everywhere. And again, those paths, all the different things, everything, the tunnels. And a tunnel from here to Mount Kailash is absolutely phenomenal. Again, proving that their tunnels are everywhere and they're existing. And there's a lot that you know, they tell us to worry about, but a tunnel from there to there, a tunnel from, you know, Aruba to Venezuela, all the cities, underground, all of America, everything. You know, I think those earthquakes are even possibly fake just to stop people from wanting to do things or scaring people from going underground, when actuality, you know, they know, or they control the earthquakes, so they're not afraid of them, or they set them off, etc. So many different things to think about, but look at it. It's just unbelievable. And these exist all over the world, not just Tibet, not just the Himalayas. Every mountain range needs to be examined, every single thing. And if we could just explore beyond the realm a little tiny bit and see one place that was like this, that's all we need to see, is one city that looks just massive, where we could then do the reverse of it. Instead of looking at these mountains and being like, what does the city look like? We could look at the city and say, is this what we're looking at in our realm? Like, if this were to be melted and destroyed, would it turn to what we see and know of as mountains? And then that would make us question everything. But they don't want that. That's an absolutely forbidden concept to attain, or fact or picture to attain, because we can't escape this realm. We can't see what they are allowed to see and what they hide from us, sadly. And look at this. This has been seen in many different videos lately, but it looks like, again, there were people messing with it, people adding stuff, people dumping a kind of material on that could be moldable to cover stuff so that it appears natural. It appears like it is a totally normal thing, when in actuality, people came here probably of another race or giants or another just breed entirely, and just groomed and fixed this place and made it ready for us so that we could be easily manipulated into doing whatever they want. And if you think about it, we don't know the amount of advanced technology they have. We always are so far behind, where they have stuff and then we get it later in the simplest form, and then it gradually unfolds. Meanwhile, they've got other stuff down the line that they're already using and mastering to keep us down. But if you get giants, then you have a totally different realm of consciousness and invention and creation. And they could have grooming things. Their whole size thing could be different. Like we basically mow a lawn. This could be like, or like plow a field or something. This could be like that to them, plowing a field, creating a zone, creating just a sterile environment for something else, eliminating any type of fact and then letting the people in and be like, here you go. Now you can start a civilization here. Thanks for the money or whatever, whatever it costs, like the external rent theory or all that kind of thing beyond the realm. There's no telling. It's just all about a perspective, and our perspective is miniature in comparison to the ultimate truths, which are out there somewhere waiting for us to discover them as we observe clue after clue that will hopefully render us not clueless in the future. But I hope you all enjoyed this little glimpse into Tibet travel. Definitely check out his video. He is awesome. And Tashi Dalek to you all. Bless you all with artofdino.com and saveearth.us.